Chat, I need to get a Howl point redemption for when Cerberus hits the board. Or just like, it's time for the good boy! It's good boy time! Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's that time again. It's time for viewer games, and oh boy, do we have a whole lot of them in the list. We had some exciting ones for the last few weeks. Let's see if we keep the trend going. What's going on, chat? How's you doing out there? I see people getting excited already. Yeah, we're going to be jumping in. You like the intro? Yeah, that's been that way for a while, but thank you. It's been that way for a while. I only use it here just for the countdown because it lets people obviously file in and know the stream. It gives people time to get rolling, basically. So we're going to jump in. There's a whole lot of dupes. There's a number of them. So we're going to be jumping around a little bit in the queue. And I'm just going to have to try and keep track. But we do what we can. But before we get started, I do, of course, have to let everybody know that I am part of the Content Affiliate Program. You can probably see that, that big bank of coffee over there. That comes from the devs. So just got to let everybody know about that before we jump into things, but let's get on to those games. All right, zoning in here. Mushry is our first game of the evening. I hate Hematic Ginsting. Good game. An opponent added me as a frenemy after. So shout out the bad guy with the Bluelian avatar. You don't see that too commonly. We were talking about that on stream last night. I'm still of the opinion that the game could actually benefit significantly from other cosmetics. We were debating, of course, Phobie skins, Phobie hats, and, as many people have pointed out, potential heart reskins. One of the other options that I talked about last night is potentially redoing the maps to, like, you could always have, say, Noughts and Crosses have the weird screaming thumbs and fingers, like the bluish one with lava, like that tile set, but on this map. That could be an option, but anyway. Our hero here has kind of an oddball opener. I'm not a fan of sending anything but a 1 key to this bottom point. The reason for that is it is just simply too easy for this stuff to like accidentally die. 6 keys here would be pretty trivial to kill this Maggie. Looks like creep is going to go down. Let's see, does bad guy collapse on this? They don't. They don't even bother. Because, for example, I would anticipate a Murder Wing and a Jar could easily pick this off. Possibly Gravedigger into Stuff, but, you know, that's kind of extreme. Now, while we're at it, we are looking at fairly low... Whoa, wait a minute. Okay, I was going to say we're fairly low, but we're not actually... Not actually. Hey, Marcos, thank you for the follow. So, we're getting the retaliation here, trading out creep for snowball, it looks like. Hopefully that dies the fire, otherwise this is going to be real awkward. Bad guys, of course, going to have to honor the positioning from the spider. I don't know, to be honest, I kind of like Noughts and Crosses as a map. I think this one is one of the more successful ones. It is different. It requires a different play pattern. Obviously, there is a long run from the primary battleground in the north and your spawn point in the south. So it just, that temporal component changes things a lot. So as compared to, like, I complain about a lot of maps. There are a ton of them that I can't stand, both old ones, new ones, ones that were in between. But I think it's worth pointing out and giving credit where credit is due when a map is doing well. And as we saw with the 2 new ones, or 2 most recent ones, with the disease tiles and poison tiles, it can drastically change how things work. Simply having new tiles, a different lineup, it encourages different phobies. Whole lot of things change. The bad guy was temporarily considering a more aggressive posture here, but instead has chosen to back off, obviously fearing the spider. Gonna end up trading Cowbell for presumably Maggie here, but that's if bad guy wants to be aggressive. So the panic points are now tied up at 3. Noxious entering the fray. Neither player wants to bank to anything all that expensive, but yeah, as mentioned in the notes, Hematic Ginsting is a serious problem. Serious problem. Because this B-boy is, yeah, he's pretty tanky. He's pretty tanky. So we get the counter Maggie here. I can only assume the bad guy's Maggie. Oh my god! The droney snipe! You don't see that very often, chat. It just does not happen very often. You love to see it when it happens. So we're just playing the waiting game here until our hero is able to reclaim this point. 12 keys to 10. Ooh, we get an aggressive invade with the Henrietta. I do like that from bad guy. Oh, did I say Droney? Yes, Morty. Yes, this is Morty, not Droney, if I said Droney. I don't know what I said. I commonly say the wrong name for Phobies. Usually people correct me. Yeah, this is a very tense situation for our hero, because they can't realistically put a relevant phobie on any of these points, because they're going to get yoinked. The counter yoink will come in, but we are getting a dive here onto Ginsting and team. We'll see how aggressive our hero wants to be here. When you're doing this kind of thing, I like to see like heavy aggression, like get your whole team in there, because you need to be able to represent a counter to their counter push, because otherwise you're sniping one thing and probably getting punished because they have defender's advantage. And right now, it looks like it's going to be Ginsting for Noxious. Is that good enough? I don't know, given that there's both a healing spa and now there is a Blulian. I don't know about this one. 6 keys remaining for bad guy, 10 for our hero. What can our hero snipe here? I think they actually could have killed this Hematic. But targeting down the spider is valuable. Definitely makes sense. I'm not really clear what the Morty was doing. I guess it was just, we're going to go in and they second-guessed it. I do like the second yoink here. If you can preserve a few bodies, it depends on... And bad guy's playing it defensively. Bad guy's playing it defensively. Probably for the position. Yeah, that's true. It probably would not have pulled to where they wanted it otherwise. To force the pull to that spot. Ooh, Morty getting more value. I'm a little surprised that the Ray didn't just kill this. Like, the Ray could sit on the Abyss tile and snipe it so that you could preserve the Fireball from Snowball. But I guess this does deter the Hevo from trying to get aggressive and, like, positioning to take the stim, but it can't. Like, it wouldn't be able to go there and attack, is what I mean. 3 keys remaining for our hero, and to be honest, they're in a pretty decent spot. The Octonauty doesn't eat it. Bad guy is well within range of, like, everything. I mean, sure. Yeah, this should be a dead Blulian and probably to the cat, meaning, yep, cat's going to take it down so that way you don't really lose it. Okay. I mean, that's fine, too. I probably would have let the cat die just in order to preserve some health on the Ray Chargels, but realistically, it didn't matter. This was very well played by our hero here. Multiple yoinks, able to keep everything alive, take what your opponent gives to you. The Noxious Invade initially didn't look great, and I still feel like I would have liked a little more support. Because if bad guy tries to die, like you go in with the Noxious, they try and stay there with the Jin Sting, the Hematic Jin Sting. Then you just blow it up. Since they retreated, you kind of gave them the dilemma that they had no good answers. But GG, well played. Game 2. We got KingOfPain all the way back on Billy's room. This can't be in rotation anymore, which thank God, I hate this map. But I was putting in some effort to try and learn different strategies on it. So even when the map is less than stellar, it's important to be able to play on it. Have you ever seen two metallic octopuses staring at each other? The one who flinches first loses. KingOfPain now becoming a regular to the game breakdowns. Usually has some awesome stuff. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, the whole metallic octopus thing, I have to imagine it's attractors / innocuous. And yes, in fact, that happens a lot. That happens a lot. Master Dark, what's good? Had a close win. All right. Yeah, Master Dark's been big into Total Warhammer as of late. I talked about it on stream before. I want to like those games, but I just don't. I actually played a bunch of the beta of the new Warhammer RTS, and it needs work. It needs work. Just as a game, it needs serious help. I could talk about it, but we got to focus on this game. We do, out of bad guy, get the early Gravedigger break, which I kind of like. But we do also, notably, have a triple panic point advantage for our hero. And because the snowball is down, it allows this aggressive jar poke. And we now have, guess what? Everything in position. Everything in position in order to stop. Well, not stop, but to snipe these things. Now, bad guy appropriately blocks here, but our hero can still get this jar. No, they can't. The bad guy didn't need to. Well, they can, but our hero's going to have to expose their jar, and they probably won't be able to because then bad guys snowball. Like, it's just going to end up with a bad set of trades, I think. So there's the Innocuous, the first of the octopi, I guess, although it only has 4 tentacles. Yeah, only 4. I had to stare at it for a second because obviously they're swaying, and I'm like, wait a minute, are there more than 4? This is kind of cute. Our hero does have, well, they just burned their terraform, so it's going to be a couple turns, but we're going to clear this out, swing the cowbell in. 9 keys to 12, so bad guy is at a slight key advantage here temporarily. However, panic point advantage and the first mover on the Innocuous stare down, so there is an advantage there. The quadrupus? Fair. Is that what we're going to call them from now on? The Innocuous chain is the quadrupuses? The quadrupie? It's so weird. It's like, it doesn't quite roll off the tongue. It's just like an awkward thing to pronounce. I kind of like it, though. I kind of like it. The quadrupie. It sounds like a weird cake. Like, doesn't it sound like that, like somebody made a real-life object into a cake, and it's like, you can't believe that it's just a cake. You know, one of those things, and it's called, they call it the quadrupie. Yeah, speaking of Total War, I keep thinking about getting Blood Bowl 3, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I've thought about streaming Blood Bowl, but the problem is that any given game is about an hour. So I would get like 3 games maximum in each stream or so. Maybe 4. It's tough. And I definitely can't do it like, oh, by the way, at the end of the stream, let's play some Blood Bowl. Because, yeah. So here's the issue. Our hero here is maxed out, phobie count-wise. They do, however, have 3 keys, but bad guy has 7. This is a cute block. I think this Gravedigger still dies, though. That's a good snipe there. And this is a great heads-up play. I like this invade from KingOfPain. This was a solid invade. This Gravedigger might still die, but if they go for it, the jar might be exposed. All right, Pterodactyl is the final phobie from bad guy. Are they going to leave the Gravedigger here? No. So the Gravedigger is similar to what I was calling out last game where I said, I don't understand why the Morty moved that way. This is the same sort of thing, I think, to ensure that the Stabby gets pushed, pulled by the Dimensional Yoink off a Snowball to the location that they want. Problem here is, yeah, that Stabby's pretty beat up now. Really, just going to trade the jar out, just like that. KingOfPain feeling very confident with this particular setup. Now, admittedly, bad guy needs to commit. They have to send something in order to claim one of these points, or otherwise our hero takes it. So, which phobie is it going to be? Presumably, like, you would think it would be, oh, the Resurrect phobie, but it will die. It will 100% die. And now this Inoculus is as good as a jar. Okay, well, it's still as good as a jar because it's covering multiple points. All right, this is interesting. I don't know if that's bad guy just saying I have nothing else to burn this cooldown on, but we'll see what they're setting up. I like the idea of leaving... I don't know that I agree with that. Like, I get it, opening up the sightline for the Inoculus, but at the same time, the block being there is to your advantage due to the fact that you have a lobber and they don't. Admittedly, they have a flyer, but... So quick pick on the Gravedigger. Phobie count advantage for our hero, but now the opposite is true. They have to invade, and there is a jar on the stem. Or you can just sacrifice the Clinico. Yeah, just ping me in Discord, just random. Let me know which one you want removed. Whichever game you want removed, we can just pull it out. This is a very interesting standoff here. I imagine Gravedigger goes in now. And then Pterodactyl comes in. And then Klepto comes in and the game is over? This is a very strange exchange because there aren't too many... Naked map? Yeah, they completely demolished everything. Yeah, I don't think... Wait, can you interact with this tile? I don't think so. I think this is off the map because this is the top row. This is very strange. I'm saying it's strange because there weren't a bunch of keys still available or other cooldowns or whatever. It was pretty obvious how this was going to play out, right? Like, if I send in one and you send in one, well, you have more phobies than I do. So you'll end up with the panic point. And this is why surrenders should not be so punishing in phobies. Bad guy honorably moves in instead of just waiting it out. So shout out to bad guy. But maybe more importantly, certainly more importantly, shout out to KingOfPain. GG. GG. All right, we are back. It is Strahd, our hero here in the blue trunks on Magnificent. Also another map that I enjoy out of the newer batches. Obviously not the newest map on the block at this stage. When you have the resources, why not build a tunnel? The world needs more tunnels. Terraform MVP. I'll be honest, the thought the world needs more tunnels is a sentence that hadn't crossed my mind. Like, I don't know about this one. Wait, what level is this? Alright, so that 2k health, they could have done another 5. Yeah, there's no way they could kill this. Well, yeah, there's no way, because they only had 6 keys. They only had 6 keys. Notably, bad guy didn't open with Snowball? What level are they at? They 100% have access to Snowball. There's no way that they have level 11, 12, and 13 Phobies and do not have access to Snowball. Why would you not open Snowball on this map? Now, I do like the Moly Bully. This is something I have to remember and possibly add to the build order list. Future me, when you're editing this, maybe make a note of that. I don't... Okay, seriously, chat. Like, this is going to bother me. Why would you not open Snowball on this map? Going first. Now, I would also make the argument go Snowball going second. But, given the Moly Bully opener, at least we saw something unique. Like, a little hydrate action. I don't quite understand why they didn't do it. We also, speaking of things I don't understand, why is there a Temptress on the board? Just why? Well, there's no Temptress on the board now, chat. We don't have to answer that question. GG. Hydrate? You get a little more hydrate action? Trying to stay hydrated, chat. With no airflow with the fan off so you can actually hear me. It gets hot. You miscalculated? Yeah, we all make mistakes. It happens. The Sock Assassin, though, now it's a 4-to-1 panic point advantage, and Crush more to help supplement here on the defense. You mean, why isn't there a Temptress on the board? Well, I have a definitive answer as to why there's no Temptress on the board any longer. I remember playing on this map and winning because my Snowball was capturing points the whole time. That's exactly it. Like, getting to the northern part of the map up here, especially going first. Now, I've made the mistake where if you're going second and they open Snowball, you typically want to respond with a Snowball and then possibly block them in so that way they can't escape and you snipe their Snowball and then regain map control. If they aggressively push for your point, typically they'll pull back and take this. Problem is like, that threat wasn't even there. Your homies don't like Magnificent? Why? I like Magnificent. I think this is a good map. Admittedly, I think this is going to be another map where Akira is just going to be a nightmare, but what map isn't? Nice, the quick snipe on the Daisy. Ouchtown population, Daisy. That Crushmore should not be in any danger of dying. Of course, now it's going to be a further deterrent. The Moly might die? Probably not. If the Moly dies, then that means that bad guy had to overextend pretty hard. Phobopolis is a map where Akira's a blunder. I think that depends. If you have early Terraform, or any Terraform realistically, which you are, if you have Crushmore, you're playing it on Phobopolis, right? What? Somebody get Luffy! What is happening? Even on Phobopolis, I think Akira could have a place. It certainly is more difficult, but I don't think it's, like, unplayable there. Little Luffy action here. I legitimately, chat, look, I've talked about it before, and I know it makes Luffy sad. I don't see the purpose of Rocket Man in, like, 99.9% of scenarios. There are scenarios where, okay, Rocket Man is decent here, but even those you're probably better off with, like, anything else. Why is Rocket Man happening here? There's still 14 keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our hero has not used Snowball. Like, there's lava, so if you really had to, you stand on the lava. I don't get it. Why is Rocket Man making an appearance other than bad guy wants to use it? Chuck. It's been a while, my guy. What's good, Chuck? What's good? I don't quite get the AWOL out of Strahd. It came down a few turns ago. It went from here all the way up to here. I think it was intended to, like, threaten as additional damage down at the bottom, obviously, and potentially... What? Paschetti? That's not the disease answer you want to chuck. Why don't you want that as a disease answer to chuck? Because this is 287 damage. I don't know how much this chuck heals, but, like, it's probably going to be an insignificant amount of damage coming from the disease, if Chuck can even, like, hit one thing at a time. I think that was discovered a while ago, Master Dark. And people found the one for DT and a couple other people as well. There's a few Easter eggs that people haven't found on the bot yet. Although some of them I have to redo because I reworked the bot so it can't show what I had on there anymore. We're talking about my Phobie Finder bot if you're curious what we're talking about, YouTube. Hit up the Discord for that. Link in the description. Down by the like and subscribe button. Oh my god, did this really just happen? I mean, I saw this coming as soon as our hero put the terraformers down here. You know what? Wait. Oh, I was about to say, could you block this right now? Because that would be hysterical. What's the Easter egg? Ah, you gotta go find out. So, yeah. Bad guys in a weird spot. They have to rotate, and rotate pretty hard in order to try and defend this. 46-20, like, I don't even know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so they're maxed out, they can't even pop, say, an AWOL on the keyhole to, like, push a ton of damage, or a bunch of damage, not necessarily a ton, onto Crushmore or something. But now they have to... I almost would have said leave the Gravedigger, but I guess it kind of doesn't matter. Because bad guy now has to split their forces. They have to hard defend here, but they also can't just relinquish the top panic points. I think Strahd would have been better off leaving the AWOL lurking up here, just so it could take this point and force them to interact with it. Yeah, it would have been... Oh, there it is. You lock them out. Closing the gate. I think this might be the... This is the early contender for the thumbnail. Closing the gate. Look at Chuck. Look at Chuck. I don't know why that's so funny to me. I think that, like, this could work. This could work as the thumbnail. Even Moly Bully's in the back, like, I can't watch! The problem is, I'm gonna have that on there, and I'm saying, oh, Moly Bully's hiding his face because he can't watch, and someone's gonna say that he's dabbing, and I'm gonna scream. This is hilarious, Strahd, I'm not gonna lie. This is actually hysterical. Ain't no way Chuck did the surprise YouTuber thumbnail face, yep. This is one of those scenarios where, like, you can feel the despair from bad guy, right? Like, just the absolute despair. Like, look at this board state. This looks like one of the puzzles. This doesn't look like a real board state. This is actually hilarious. Because of the bully? No, just the entire setup. I mean, there's a Rocket Man, there's a Paschetti, there's a Numbskull, like, all this stuff. Oh, because the bully shows up a lot? Yeah, in the puzzles? Yeah, I get what you're saying. But no, it's just more the way everything's awkwardly clustered and there's phobies that you never see. Why is this game not over? Oh, there's still 3,500 health left on this heart. I thought Strahd was, like, prolonging the suffering for the lulz. Wait, why didn't bad guy... I get wanting to kill the Bluelian, but I think you really need to freeze this Chuck, like, yesterday. I think if bad guy freezes the Chuck here, kills the Crushmore, they've stabilized. I think our hero spent too... Yeah, because, like, now you're not going to get another opportunity at this. I think our hero kind of dirtled too long. I think the game would have been over if they had just gone for the heart. I could be wrong. We'd have to go back and look, but... See, Chuck was doing the shocked YouTuber face. Yeah, Klepto is reasonable. This is the stupidest strategy ever, but it worked. Can't be that stupid if it works, right? I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand the Wiggy. But now that Rocket Man's dead, there's just, like, no hope for bad guy. They can't even get in here. Half-health Ginsting and Cassowary are not really going to supplement that Innocuous enough. This is hilarious, Strahd. This is hilarious. This is why heart pushes... They need to be reevaluated by the entire player base on every map. But there is a degree of just... The map design needs to allow for heart pushes to be a regular thing. And Wiggy. Wiggy with the snipe. Oh, no AWOL to the panic point? I mean, it doesn't matter. There's no chance the bad guy's going to race, so... Fair enough. Fair enough. Well played there, Strahd. This is actually pretty cool. I really like this game. Down goes bad guy. GG. They said it couldn't be done, chat. They said that it couldn't be done, that Hoploy cannot be taken down. But in fact, Karst here is going to show you how it works. Cerberus ended up playing a key role in winning the match. How often does that come up, chat? How often does that matter? I just realized something. The reason AWOL does a lot of damage because stubbing your toe hurts a lot. I'm sure that played into it. Also, like, it's straight up removing your toe. I imagine that's not going to feel very good either. But this is a map, getting back to this game at hand, this is a map that I personally don't have a defined build order for, so I'm trying to mentally take notes. Maybe I will take some actual notes and set this up in the build order list, which, if you're not sure what that is, hit up the Discord. I am keeping track of openers and overall strategies for the different maps and trying to code it so that it's a more easily grokkable format. I just do Gravedigger here. That's typically what I do, but this is unique from Karst going 1-1 into the Innocuous. I do like Innocuous on this map. It's kind of was my go-to before, and then I've been getting away from it in order to just try other stuff, but we'll see how it works out here for Karst. Karst went 1-1 into Innocuous into Bank, and Klepto just came out. Karst isn't here at the moment, but Karst, if you're watching this afterwards, Karst is in my Discord, so I guess I could just ping them, but I'm very curious if this is how Karst typically plays this map. Yeah, Innocuous is bonkers on this map. The reason I've gotten away from it is not because it's bad. I'm gotten away from it because I want to try other stuff, is what it boils down to. So what is Karst going to do from this position? Ooh, we get the aggression to snipe the jar. I like this. There's no way to threaten this Innocuous. Yeah, both the Klepto and the Innocuous are going to take a bunch of damage. And this might be sacrificing the Sarcassin? Yeah, this is a dead Sarcassin, but you're not going to waste a Muffin on this, so it's trading out 1 keys. The thing is, can you... This is 5. We'll round it up to 7, so that's 19. It depends on how powerful Hoploy's Snowball is, which I did encounter that a little bit. Can we see the level difference? I think it's about 30 stress levels. Level 18, level 17, level 25. It's a notable difference, we'll say. One may take note of this discrepancy between stress levels. Yikes, they say. So, either Hoploy didn't see it, or they miscounted. Or they can't do it, I guess, is really the option. That the Snowball, because they had the keys to send out the Snowball to try and pop the Klepto, clearly didn't have enough to pull it off. So instead, we're going to get some picks here and some free damage onto... Ooh, we're staying. Okay, we're not staying. Never mind. When Hoploy becomes max, honestly, the thought of trying to go from a level 25 Phobie to a level 30 Phobie, like how much is required, kind of makes me nauseous. Okay, so yeah, Bad Omen. Bad Omen, I'm surprised it didn't come out earlier, but I love Bad Omen. I still need to get it, but this is interesting. I was going to call this out because I was about to say, I wonder if Hoploy is upset about the fact that they didn't put literally any other 1 key on the board, because then it could have killed this Innocuous. But the aggressive push from the Boomer means that this Innocuous cannot connect with the Klepto and is going to have to retreat. Yeah, it one-shot the jar. I mean, this is almost a 700 damage Klepto. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot of damage. So this is just a bait for Hoploy to come in with the Klepto, because obviously you would trade the Innocuous for it. Clearly the Innocuous wouldn't make it. Unleashes final powers, that's when Hoploy gets maxed. Oh, it's the other Quadrupie. Is that what we settled on, chat? The Innocuous family? Cerberus as the final phobie. So I want to take a moment to appreciate the Cerberus, chat. Chat, I need to get a howl point redemption for when Cerberus hits the board. Or just like, it's time for the good boy! It's good boy time! I'm probably going to use that as the intro. And people are going to get vertigo and motion sickness from me zooming in and out. It's time for the good boy. It may work. So that's what I'm getting to, Urk. That's what I'm getting to. I knew what you meant. I want to take a moment for this because I've seen this. Multiple other people have tried this against Alien Engineer, including me. I didn't do Cerberus. I did Hydra, but we watched somebody else, I forgot who it was, go Cerberus into Alien Engineer, and it almost worked. There were other circumstances in the game, and I know that sounds like, well, if it didn't work, then why would you do it? Well, Alien Engineer at the time had more keys left. There were other parts of the game that led to more panic point pressure. So, like, there were different compounding factors. Here, what precisely is Hoploy going to do to kill this thing before it just walks up and slaps the snot out of something? Now, admittedly, Hoploy here does have a panic point advantage. Hoploy does have a panic point advantage, and it's not going to work for every player, because while Karst is significantly underleveled compared to, like, we'll look at the Cerberus again. Level 16, this is level 25. Like, the Unbearable is closing in on the stats for Cerberus. If I tried Cerberus for all the times I keep running into Hoploy, I don't know if it would get there just because my Cerberus is worse than their Unbearable. Like, it just is. Damage-wise, it's better, but I think it has less health. So, it may not work out, but it is a cool idea. Probably going to see the Clinica. Oh, we're going to... I'm a little surprised that Karst did not put something here, but then again, it could have gotten splashed. You know, like the Klepto could have safely, but if, like, you put the Klepto or the Clinico here, I don't know, like, that should have worked, right? Hold on, I want to see. This is an 1800 health Cerberus. 1800 and change. First of all, get wrecked, Klepto. Second of all, it's up to 2400 health. Klepto, get wrecked. Get the invade here. A little bit of splash damage. Honestly, this... $12? $22? So this is a dead Cerberus, but it's a triple panic point advantage with Innocuous ready to shell your team and Klepto doing the same. This Cerberus has gotten the value that was required. I think we probably used the thumbnail with Chuck, but I think that this is, like, Screaming Good Boy is going to be the intro. It's good boy time. Well, it wasn't just trade Klepto for Cerberus, it was trade all the panic points and Klepto for Cerberus, while your opponent has Innocuous and Klepto on the board. And all of a sudden, look at this, like, how long did Hoploy have a panic point advantage for? Like, it was a long time. This should be ball game, chat. I don't think it's going to be literally this turn, but I don't think there's a way for Hoploy to claim the panic points back quickly enough. This was very well played by Karst. Very well played. I am very curious if Karst has cultivated this particular strategy for this map, or was this a spur-of-the-moment thing? Somebody hit up Karst in Discord and ask, because I want to know if this is really a thing. Is this a thing? Do we find the Cerberus map, chat? GG. All right. We're looking at this from bad guy's perspective. Who is bad guy? It's A. Markin in the blue trunks, but our hero here is Bader, although playing under Mexicano 187. So we're zoning in here on a red rum. The notes are disease, no problem, and something wired happened in the end of the match. I'm assuming that's supposed to be weird, unless it's that exciting that you were wired as a result. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Steven, thank you. I do appreciate it when chat states things for me and I don't have to worry about it. DTs and a number of other people are often very good about posting Discord whenever I bring it up, that sort of thing. So we're getting fairly standard openers. I mean, the choice of one keys and the particular sequence could be debated, but ultimately we're ending up with unicorns and turrets. Shocker, I know. Who's seen this before? Raise your hand if you've seen this setup before on Red Rum. I know I have. I know I've done it. What is our hero? Okay, so our hero banked to boss. Also, shocker. This is a level 17 boss. That's a big boy. Piscetti is the response. I was giving bad guy a few games ago in a different game with a different bad guy a hard time for putting Sporgetti here on the board. I don't think Piscetti... I mean, I guess it's fine. I don't know. Level 17 boss doing the floss. Is that a thing anymore? Like, is flossing a thing? Because wasn't it like... It was everywhere a few years ago, right? People were obsessed with it. Boom, huh? So this is just inviting the disease, clearly. But, like... I don't think so. I hope so. What, like, you hope that flossing is still a thing? The dance as opposed to the dental hygienic method? Which, make sure you floss out there. Little tip. It's important. Take care of your teeth. Random aside. Maybe I should make that the intro. So boss is it getting enough value here? You left for a little bit, what happened? We started talking about dental hygiene. No, I mean, it was dead anyway. So this boss is still super well, maybe not super healthy, but it's still fairly healthy. But it's only a, what, even panic points? 7 keys to 7 keys, though. 7 keys to 7 keys. At the end of the day, we've traded 2 1 keys for 6 keys. But the boss is... not eternal. We'll put it that way. I don't... 235, 470? I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. Oh, board state? Basically, both players decided to have a showdown at high noon and just stood there and lit each other up. Somewhat literally in boss's case. You need time? I mean, yes, but the issue Why would you just allow yourself to get boomed here? I also don't understand the sucky response. So barring heals, this boss is not long for the world, although it's going down sooner or later. Still over 5k health on bad guy's heart, so that means that you can't really heart push cleanly. Ooh, we are going to see the Clinico. I've actually seen this on a number of bosses that get diseased, where people just continually invest heals, which I think is a good indicator that boss is overtuned. Because realistically, if you're just going to hypothesize, you're just going to theory craft, and somebody goes, well, what is the appropriate response to boss? And you go, well, disease it, and then let it die, and, you know, you don't try not to hemorrhage board position. And if the answer is, well, I'm just going to heal through the poison, even though it will still eventually die, it might be a little overtuned. Is Spaghetti dead? Overcooked spaghetti! What do you think? Should that be the intro, chat? Oh my god, this boss. Why is this still alive? Wait, why does this look like it has so little? How much health is it? What is with this Gonzo right now? Why does it have 800 health and... Who touch a my spaghetti? That's an ancient meme. At least in internet age, it's ancient. I can't believe this boss is going to get a Gonzo Yord fired off. Are you kidding me right now? Last time spaghetti was done in the house, I was overcooked. Foreshadowing is breaking my mind. Oh my god. Who let him cook? You can't let boss cook. Don't let him cook. Don't. The memes write themselves, chat. The memes write themselves. Just heart pushing at the end. This was... Okay, like I was explaining a few moments ago, probably more like it. This just feels like... boss is overtuned, right? It just feels like boss is overtuned. Because I don't feel like A. Markin played this, like, remarkably poorly. Wait, was that a, Don't the traps detonate? What was this Ginseng at? Health-wise before this. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter at this stage, but... Yeah, there was a unicorn trap, but they detonate and activate when that happens. So, like... I was under the... Well, GG. GG. I was under the impression that both traps would go off. So, like, the Ivy trap came out. It might only activate the pre-existing trap, is the scenario. It didn't need any damage. Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm. So, it didn't need any damage. That means that if you play a trap, it's only activating the original trap. So, if it's yours, you are safe. Which is notable. Like, that's a rare occurrence for it to come up that, like, that particular set of circumstances falls into play. But GG. Pausing right before we jump into the next game because there was a comment in the live Twitch stream, which, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, come by the live stream, link for that, and my Discord, of course, in the description. You know, thereabouts the like and subscribe button. But there was a valid point made that the reason the trap didn't go off in the last game is because they do take a turn to arm. Wanted to get that in there. But we're on to the next game. Who is this game? It's actually a first-time submitter. First time submitting a game, usually follow on YouTube rather than Twitch. Anyways, the game is an opposing Leela versus Fire Ant. All right. I think I found that I'm starting to become pretty passive, waiting for the enemy to make the first move. There's like a book here. How can I improve to be a bit more aggressive and oppressive rather than reactive? I think the biggest thing, and we'll see how this game plays out, because our hero here is Thalasso73. The biggest thing is just finding... Okay, there's two parts. One, it's phobie choice. You can't really be aggressive with certain phobies. I mean, you can if the appropriate opportunity presents itself, but some phobies lend themselves into a more defensive strategy than more offensive strategy, right? Like, I think we can all understand how that's going to work. But the other thing is just trying to find the snipes. And it may come down to when you're playing defensively, there are times where you're probably thinking in certain games, oh, I hope they don't push here because reasons. And a lot of it comes down to simply when you want to dive, just go in and death ball. If your opponent can't punish the death ball with, say, Hevo 3.0, and you're not familiar with the term, death ball is just literally group up all your guys. It's a term from real-time strategies where you just take your entire army and then move them as one big unit, as opposed to splitting them up and attacking from different areas. Here's the Leela. That allows you to, if your opponent can't properly punish the counterattack, like they can't counterattack properly, then you just overrun them at that stage. All right, W's, thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. I was kind of hoping that our hero had the Leela here. Leela will have to wait for its time in the sun on the thumbnail, because for now, it's Fire Ant. Well, Fire Ant's not going to be on there, because we've had a lot of Fire Ant ones. I'm going to hate Leela 24/7 no matter what. We were talking about this last night or the night before. I'm not sure Leela's even good, which I'm okay with. Like, I was very concerned about Leela. 345 disease at level 6. Does anybody know offhand, or wants to go check on the bot? Does Peschetti match Leela disease-wise on level? I know that was a very weird way to ask that question, but I hope I get the point across. Tickles actually eats a trap. I mean, I don't think it's surprising. Peschetti's less. I know Peschetti's pretty low, but I wasn't sure how low. This is a dead murder wing, so I think this was just an... Is this an error by our hero? Because if bad guys counting the cooldowns, they know that there's no... Well, that if our hero or bad guy comes in to snipe the murder wing, then Fire Ant kills Jar? Wait a second. Oh my god, this is a level 7. I didn't realize what stress level we were at. This is fairly low. Peschetti is 250 disease, Leela is 300. Fair. Bad guy instead elects to snipe the snowball. Is it possible to kill this Hevo right now? 19? This is 5. 1,000 damage off of 5 keys with no snowball? Probably not happening. Probably not happening. Can pick off the murder wing, however. We're going to get an even exchange there. The problem is it's not quite even. If bad guy wants, they can send that Hevo right onto the stem. But Ray Chargels is going to make them pay for it if they do. And now, into our hero's next turn, Heartbreaker is now a serious issue. Heartbreaker into the Leela is bold. But, I mean, this is going to be a very stalematy game. Unless our hero suddenly just goes mechs. But to the question about how do I be more aggressive, this is one of the problems. Like, so Heartbreaker is a phobie that can be played aggressively, because as long as you don't activate, and this is going to sound weird, as long as you don't activate the Heartbreaker, it's still a threat, right? They have to respect the Heartbreaker. As soon as you use it, your opponent has this enormous, comparatively, enormous window to, and this kind of sucks that this is going to set this off, but that's probably exactly why Bad Guy did this. For any of you people that are having trouble with traps, there you go. Basically, as soon as you actually click the button on Heartbreaker, your opponent knows that they don't have to do anything any longer. Like, they don't have to respect it for a few turns. So, point is, you can be aggressive with Heartbreaker if you just constantly pressure them and push them out. However, I think Heartbreaker inherently kind of wants you to play defensively. You know, like, you push out, get panic point control, then you just sit there, because they have to push into you, and then you can pick them apart. And feel free to let me know in chat or down in the comments on YouTube if you feel differently, but that's kind of how I look at it. A Bad Guy went with Graylien, but they don't really have, like... I do like the Terraform here. I was going to say they don't really have a good place to move, but I do like the Terraform here. It opens up more spaces that you know will not have a trap right now. If you wanted to take that position, clearly here you don't want to like send the Heartbreaker in. It's going to get blown up. But the Terraform will ultimately yield more positions for you to be able to get set up in. And make something nasty happen with you. So now we know 2 Leela traps are gone. To be perfectly honest, we're watching the game, and I lost track. I don't know how many are left. Trading the Gesundheit out for the disease trap, first of all, irony! Second of all, I think that's probably a decent enough use for it. Oh, Bad Guy. You're about to have a very, very bad time. First of all, this is dead. Second of all, I think these 2 are dead. Oh, no. No! Yeah. We've been seeing a lot more irony should be redeemable. What, me singing irony? You'll have to remind me in Discord. I could probably pull the soundbite later. I'm also announcing it. Maybe I'll remember when, yeah, big womp womp moment. Big womp womp moment. Heartbreaker goes down, but, yeah. So 8, 11, 13, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's technically closer than it looks right now. Because, like, this... Does this die to just fire? This is going to die to the fire. Why attack it? And now Bad Guy's just hosed, right? Like, I don't even know what they can do. They do not have the team to... I thought he would sacrifice Graylien. They kind of needed to. Like, that's a lot of keys invested into a phobie that is now hiding, cowering in front of the vault, right? At a certain point, you have to get value for your investment. And I get it's an expensive phobie. You don't want to just throw it away frivolously. But at the same time, like, what are you doing here? Your opponent has twice as many trappers as you do. You can't deal with them all. Eventually, they're going to get you. I do love the animations for Leela, though, chat. It's hilarious how it drops little mushrooms. Honestly, I don't think our hero needs to be more aggressive in this state. Like, they just don't need to. Like, I don't know if I would put the Murder Wing up here. I mean, this is fine, I guess. Because you can push a little bit more. Personally, I would have just done this. And very Christmas theme. Christmas in July, chat. The swap for the Gravedigger. Okay. The Graelian is fairly tanky. It might not die. It's possible, but there's a stim here. This is in range. This is in range. Yeah, it's the better play just to go hard. Even get the quad panic points. And a few more traps for good measure. The Walmart Urk Graelian play. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. When you absolutely positively have to Graelian somebody, accept no substitutes, because that... Not the Urk seal of approval. Cooked mushrooms, anybody? GG. Well played. Very well played. Yeah, I think in order to be more aggressive, you just need to... You have to go in and, A, be willing to lose some games, because you're going to have to get used to the play style. But you want to look for picks. Find ways to pressure your opponent, and sometimes it's just going to be a matter of group up, death ball, push. You're going to lose some games, and then you'll get a better feel for, oh, I can push this right now. They can't counterattack, sort of thing. It's the way it goes. But GG. Back on to Always Watching, but this time, JustRandomSt. I like saying the name that way, even though I know it's not. So shout out to Just Random. A 2-for-1 bop into a random trap. I set like 6 turns before. I assume that's a boop, but we'll go with it. We get the... Does bad guy think that they're Lemon West? Coming in here with your Poison Ivy openers. What is... What is happening right now? That is a lot of plants on the board, chat. That's a lot of plants. I don't really understand why we're seeing so many plants, but we're seeing a lot of plants. PVZ, not quite yet. Not quite yet. We don't have any Zeds on the board. Veggies galore. It's true. Bad guy could just take this, like... I guess they're worried about, like, our hero trapping them, but that's not a thing? Oh, they wanted to put a trap here? I don't think that's important enough. Maggie's worst nightmare? True. Rambolina. The blast from the past. Chad, I just had a horrible thought that I'm afraid to articulate, but I'm going to. We haven't had Xylo in the pool in a very long time. And now I'm afraid for this week's rotation. Rambolina reminded me of Xylo. Allie, what level is this game? Level 7. Alright, this is a fairly low stress level game. I'm like, why did Allie... why is that on the board? Alright, so boop number 1. This is not the one. Hey, Underdog! With the gifted sub You love to see it to Master Dark. Awesome, chat. You got channel points. Let's see some bees. I know you got channel points. Let's see some bees. Shout out to True Underdog. Much appreciated. You want Xylo back so you can smother Mother? No. Bees! GG. 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 Love it. I love it. If we miss a moment in the game, I'll rewind. But right now, they're just setting up. Nice. Nice. Shout out to Underdog for that gifted sub there. Aggressive posturing here from our hero. I don't know about this one. Like, I guess. I don't think that that doesn't feel like it was necessary. I know we were a little distracted by bees there, but no, there are like 2 or 3 people that have the Twitch username that hang out in chat just random. But they're all different people. At least as far as we can tell. They've been in the same room, aka the chat, at the same time, so. Yeah, it's definitely gotten confusing when we had them both in chat and both of them had submitted games before. It got real weird. I don't love this positioning either. I understand why it has to be this way. But obviously they're going to take a bunch of splash. But the spider is threatening. The spider is threatening. Gator beating up the cat in the north. A tractor. Bad guy. Captain No Fun. There ain't much left of this game, so I'm waiting for this double boop onto the trap. Got him! Down goes the Poison Ivy. Down goes the Venus. That's a good boop. That's a good boop. You do like the Rambolini here? What, in general? Like on this map? Or do you mean in this particular game? I mean, it definitely worked out in this game. I don't know how I feel about it on this map. No more plants? No, we still have some. Erratic, the final phobia out of bad guy. Still 11 keys for our hero, by the way. Yeah, Luffy's still here. Get the yoink. That's just a dead attractor right beyond. Admittedly, there's going to be some decent retaliation. Double hit here. This can reposition. Klepto is going to get a stemmed lob. But still 8 keys for our hero and precisely goose egg for bad guy. Boo, fairy! Not gonna lie, I didn't see that one coming. Also, that kind of sucks. Cooldown just got used. There's that double erratic hit. That has to be a dead spider. Yep. And a dead Stairmaster. Ouch town. Honestly, this doesn't look good for our hero now. Quad panic points, though. Cupcake? Wait, really? Why? I know it, like, I would have just ran it away. Maybe he doesn't have Muffin? Yeah. Okay, so I'm pretty sure Just Random won this game. But this doesn't seem decided. I guess I guess maybe it is. 4K health. You can send the Clinico down here. This comes up. You swing maybe Erratic back this way. And Ginsting goes here. But our hero can't kill the Ginsting right away. Boop is up. I mean, this isn't great for bad guy, but, like, our hero only has one range unit. None of them are lobs. This seems bad, but not unwinnable. You don't have Muffin? Okay, I mean, yeah, that's what I assumed was the case, but I think you just didn't need to hit this. Maybe you... Well, actually... So this is a trap for almost 600. You can't kill... I don't know. I don't think this is... Yeah, I don't think bad guy was out of this. It certainly is not good. Like, you're not excited to be in bad guy's shoes right now. But I don't think this is unwinnable, but, I mean, you take those. GG, just random. Yeah, they surrendered. I don't know. Yeah, the Booze Fairy just scared the shit out of them. Quick sip before we jump into the next game. Urkevina, our hero here, with no notes. The game is going to speak for itself, apparently. No notes required. I have many questions already. Why is there an opening numbskull? You know, actually, I've gone with sucky openers on this map, so I don't hate the numbskull for, like, similar reasons. However, sucky has the advantage of having a leap. Numbskull just has to walk his dumbass up to the whatever it is and then just be a big dummy. Gesundheit. 4K. Somebody explain this to me. Bad guy being very aggressive with this positioning. Willing to... Okay, so this is interesting from Urk. Electing to not take a shot on this stabby, I think that's a mistake. Like, why not take the shot here? Actually, that might have caused the stabby to die. I don't know if Urk calculated this, but it's pretty close. Given the level of these and the damage output, it's possible that the stabby reflect damage would cause Urk's stabby to die. Quick shot going down onto Bachelor. Boom backing up the team. I've talked about it before. I'm not a big fan of Boom doing this. It's just too easy for Boom to go, oops, I'm dead. Okay, so we didn't want the... Okay, the stabby's coming back. I was going to say, like, you didn't want it to get hit before because it might die. Now it definitely would if it was down here. Well, maybe not definitely, because they don't have leap since they just burned it. Bow mangles. So we have double turret against not really a turret cracking setup. You do have the tools to do it, but given the Gesundheit and the Boom, Urk can absolutely punish and invade on this. And here's the other advantage in Urk's corner. Both players are banking, but, well, until now. Urk now has a tractor to break the stalemate. But Urk had a way, has Boom to just remove if they want a slot. And I was going to say they're both banking, but bad guy is maxed out and can't add to their forces. At this point, I kind of agree with Urk. You just get all your keys so that you can reload once you're ready. And with this kind of meat shield wall with double turret in front of a tractor, this is why the sucky first plan was a thing for a short period of time. Because you have the ability to do this, and then it's like multiple turrets and sucky either in front of Innocuous or a tractor in this case. Bad guy actually has to kill the stabby. Can't let it die to fire. This cannot possibly end. Oh, no. 360. Oh, you can't hit it with this. This is, yeah, moments before Onda. I thought there was going to be a pull, but this works too. Savage. Savage. What happened to the board? Didn't you have phobies? What happened to your board state? Now, admittedly, bad guy can reload. They choose first to reload with erratic. This is supremely aw- What? Jab, what? You have 12 keys? And this is... not... It's gonna take you 100 years just to walk them up. Like, and figure out, like, how you position everything. And now there's a Graylien on the board. Opponent made a bad play of not surrendering after that. Blue. I think bad guy sees the writing on the wall. I think bad guy sees the writing on the wall. We're going to get a Graylien moment, and this erratic is going to die. Ah, this is so painful. Got him. Got him. Urk doing Urk things. Oh, no. No! Blue is so silly. I love it. I was about to say, you might just be able to kill this. Couldn't you just kill it with the Graylien? I'm assuming you counted it and you couldn't. Oh, it's only... What level is your Graylien? I thought Graylien did more damage than that. It's interesting that blue is the first phobie that scales very low HP-wise. Oh, I mean, it's part of the intention. Sounded like you getting tortured by your radiator? What? Triple panic points. Bad guy with, like, nothing to speak of. How much did the blue even power down? Actually, a decent amount. 336. Honestly, I like blue, but I don't know. I think it's really just you do it for the smiley effect sort of thing, as like an anti-klepto, anti-boss, or, well, I guess boss or Hevo. Blue is good. I mean, blue is fine. I mean, I've used it to successful effect even without having it leveled. But that was literally one game, so sample size is not exactly large. Bad guy fighting valiantly, but the reality is Got a little alien spaceship drop going on here. And that's a germ all up in your heart. That's not something you want to hear. Germs in your heart. Sounds bad. I'm not a doctor, but like that sounds bad, right? That can't be good. Germs in your heart. The second switcher you because why not? Why not? GG, Urk. GG. All right, we're here with Kif on Teen Spirit. Kif, we were going to watch your other game, but it looked like it fell off your profile, so we're getting you back with this game. Play careful. All right. Let's see what we got. Who approved the supervisor of performing actions in the kitchen? Is that going to be a new regular meme, chat? We haven't had one of those in a while, where it was just like, for lack of a better way to put it, a viral meme in chat. There have been some in the past where they lasted for a couple months. Bad guy just allowing creep to poison. This is almost as bad as germs on your heart, chat. Like, is creep supposed to be a worm? Germs all over your body? That sounds like a Weird Al song. Germs all over your body sounds like a Weird Al song. Alright, well, creep is probably 96 health. I mean, if it wasn't going to live, bad guy probably would have muffined it. This is a level 10. Like, we don't know the bad guy has muffin, but they probably have muffin, right? They certainly have Clinico. We don't have a phobie that's based on underwater? Do you mean we don't have a fish phobie? Because we have several aquatic-themed phobies. Unless you mean, like, we don't have a phobie that's, like, supposed to represent the idea of drowning. There's the muffin. Triple panic point advantage, by the way, for our hero here. Hashtag just saying. That's a dead jar. It's also going to be a dead murder wing, but still. A drop of water would be a really nice idea for a phobia. I feel like something like that could happen. I kind of want it to have an ability that creates a tidal wave, though. Muffin drowns you in happiness. Muffin is actually the fear of diabetes. Diabetes is bad, okay? So is getting your dog cooked. What is happening? Play careful is right. Why? This is a violent game, chat. And it's not going well for our hero here. Not quite enough to take down the canine. That sucks. Everyone's favorite giraffe is still able to claim the panic points, finally flipping it in favor of bad guy. And bad guy also was able to bank to 6 at this point. Imagine Akira but push. Akira does push, though. It pushes your own team. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I mean, yes, technically Akira pulls your own team, but, you know. Erratic to answer the innocuous. This looks not good for our hero. There are ways to crack bad guys' setup. Like, the dog dies, the canine, didn't need to. Bad guy probably assumed that our hero just would not go in. But there's no way for this erratic to connect this turn, and there's certainly not enough damage here. Which means that if you don't have enough damage to get this and this, you have to back off. And Stabby's the final phobie. So the risk here is going to be, can our hero connect with the Innocuous enough to soften up the team? Because otherwise, Erratic can lead the charge and just get in there. But with that Unicorn laying down traps, it's going to take some time, and the softening up is probably going to happen. Imagine Akira, but spin? No. No. Although, well, I guess it's not impossible to have a map rotation sort of thing, but, like, what would that do? Like, is it going to change the like, who comes out of which vault or something? Alright, so Stabby does go down. But that means that... I don't know about this one. So, our hero gets to probably kill the Jin Sting, right? I don't know if Sarcassin's in... Well, it'll definitely get it eventually if Sarcassin goes in. Yep. Okay, so you just pick it off right now, which is appropriate, because otherwise then the Jin Sting could have sacrificed itself aggressively. But our hero still has keys. Bad guy just kind of, like, threw their phobies into the wood chipper here. I don't think the Erratic and Stabby were really what they wanted. Certainly not splitting their forces this way, though. Imagine Akira, but Akira. Imagine. Panic point advantage hero. They don't quite have enough damage to just blow up the Erratic. Or even, for that matter, the Stabby. But this is a lot of traps down here. Jar just getting the hell out of dodge. I don't think it needed to retreat that far. That might have been a little extreme. I don't know what bad guy... Like, why didn't they... I don't know that it really matters, but, like... I guess they wanted to take this point with Erratic so that it forces this to walk away, but I don't even know that it does. 7, 8... Okay, yeah, the Innocuous would have gotten one shot. Panic point advantage. Honestly, I think you might have been better off taking a shot at the heart. Like, take the point, then shoot the heart. Bad guy, what are you gonna do here? His Erratic is dead. Triple panic points, but the Erratic is dead. This was a very patient game by Kif because it was looking really, really bad. By the way, Stabby's dead too, GG. Got him! Well played. Yeah, like... I could feel the hubris through the internet from bad guy's position. And I think that that's what it boiled down to. Way to stay in there, Kif. GG. We'll see how long these games are, see if we can get any extra games in tonight. But we have Hi Georgie returning once again, and we are returning back to always watching. Take that, cool Phobies that I want but don't have. Also, the level difference in my matches are crazy. It has been the talk of the town, as always. Heading to bed? Alright, Urk. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Whoa. Bad guy. First of all, level 5 versus level 6. Alright, we're not looking at a huge difference here. Our hero with a weird opener. Bad guy with a weirder one? I don't get it. This is low level, so no snowball. Alright, fine. I get it. I don't get turn 1 Zappy unless this is just like, hey, I got Zappy and I think it's good, so I'm gonna use it. God damn it. Woolly Bully. Just getting in there. This seems suspect. Okay, so this is salvaged to a degree. Like, clearly they kill this. I can't click on things. Come on, game. Somebody just slapped Zappy with a fly swatter. Down to 990 already. But this is a dead Ray Chargels. Somewhat for freezies. Now, this is low enough level that neither player probably has Clinico, so the only healer they're likely to have is Muffin. They beat me to it. This is a level 9 Muffin, so that's actually... And level 9 Woolly Bully, I didn't see that earlier. So, a fairly significant level differential here. Bad guy evens out the panic points. We'll see if our hero elects to try and go after one of these. Erratic as the follow-up. It's amazing to me that this jar has lived. Innocuous onto the stim pad. Okay. Notably, no Terraform from either player, even though you start with Gravedigger. Admittedly, neither of them may have access to Crushmore. Low stress level, presumably. Very small collection. This is just going to be... Oh, you probably can't kill the Maggie, but... I'm not going to pause it, but I'm assuming that this is going to live. Muffin to heal the jar. Interesting. Bad guy has not demonstrated any splash damage or anything, so that may not have been necessary. Like, you just didn't have to do that. Certainly not at that moment, unless you're planning on utilizing jar to finish off the Zappy. This power down... Sure. Like... Okay. I mean, it means that the Woolly Bully won't die, but the Woolly Bully's gonna get hit twice and then have to run. Flesh Crawler. I feel like there's a disconnect between the like squeaky wheel sound of Flesh Crawler's movement and the phobia itself. It feels like it should be a more like sloshing, sloppy sound. You know what I mean? Flesh Crawler is kind of like The Thing. You know, the movie The Thing? Oh, that Woolly Bully's getting in there. It's probably going to... Well, it might not die. Yes, it will, because 2 hits from this and jar. Maybe bad guy just... We are talking lower levels. Maybe bad guy just didn't realize that it's going to die. Zappy healed up in the interim. Gesundheit. This is getting wild, chat. Did you really not have enough damage to kill this thing? Oh no, did you not... You could have got it with the jar! Like 2 hits in jar. Even powered down because it was doing like 400 something. Maybe it it lives with like 2 health. Or you want to kill this and the jar is going to pick the zappy? The zappy lives! What? No! The long-range flesh crawler. Tentacles, baby.
Oh, no.
I don't...
No!
I don't know about that. Also don't know about that. That didn't need to happen. How much does the jar do? 253. Okay, so in our hero's defense, maybe, like I said, that this lives by like 2 health or something, so therefore it would have been bad. Hypothetically. But I don't think this was worth. I also don't think what bad guy did was worth it either. Like, could bad guy not have just hit the erratic twice with the zappy and then walked the flesh crawler up here and done the long range thing anyway? I don't know. We could go back and count, but it's funnier this way. This is the second Boo Fairy we saw tonight, chat. What is happening? 1,079 damage, so it lives? Okay, fair. I still don't know that... I don't know. At least it explains why this play down here didn't happen. That's fair. I'll accept it. Hydra... taking panic points like a Hydra does. Apparently. I don't know. I'm at a loss for this, chat. Tell me this Gesundheit doesn't attack. There's a Chuck? Oh, it had to move twice. Okay. I was going to say, did they just forget to attack with the Gesundheit, but it had to move twice? I think you'd rather have the Hydra there. Isn't this erratic just dead? Okay, so bad guy can't kill both, and then that means that the jar ends up on the stem. I'm not going to sit here and count it. But, like... yeah, this is going to happen. It's entirely possible that... so that's only like 1,500, so that Chuck lives. The aggression here not paying off. Panic point advantage in favor of our hero, though, and bad guy has a very long walk to get that Chuck into range if this Hydra gets on the heart. I do like the pick on the AWOL. Like, that's kind of a big deal. I'm pretty sure this Hydra is going to go chomp, chomp, chomp on the heart, chat. Because you can clear out the Clinico with a sheep hit, walk the Hydra up, and there's probably not enough time. The Boo Fairy caps this point. We've seen multiple Always Watching games tonight where the winner, our heroes, have capped, like, all the panic points. The Chuck stands alone. Ah, I love it. I just want to see the animation. This is such a cool animation. It's coming up. Like, look at this. How cool is that animation? And just like that, hero takes it. This game was so weird. I was second-guessing everything the whole way, but it was fun. Not the second-guessing part, but like the whole game was fun. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, chat. It's the baby! Hi, baby! Come here, baby. The puppy came. The puppy's here. Hi, baby. You decided to visit me. Sorry, Georgie. But the baby's here. GG. GG. Hi, baby. Who's a good baby? Who's your baby? Yeah. Yeah. Good girl. Good Harley. dontinklsnif. Or don't ink else. Inkles? I don't know. There might be something else there, but I can't figure it out quick enough because we got to get to the notes because there's a small novel here. Not gonna lie, nothing special. There was no game plan here, just trying to grind points for the event. I didn't even think this would work, but I guess it did, although I'll admit it was a tad bit toxic. Anyway, here's my wall take from it, what you will. All right, let's see what we've got here. We're on... Wait, from the event? This must be an async game, then. Must be an async game. Weird opener from our hero, I get. If you're grinding points, sure. I've mentioned it before, but if they continue in the vein that they did for the last event, with the VIP pass and everything, I was able to successfully complete the event in, I think it was 49 games, without really prioritizing mechs at all. Like, I played normal game plans, and the difference would be I would always put Cowbell on the board as a 1-key. I would try and get Hevo 1.0 or lean more into Hevo 3.0 strategies than I would ordinarily. That was about it. I didn't try and do crazy stuff. Like, I don't think I put K9 on the board or anything like that. I didn't try and force Oopsie Baby, for example. Although, to be honest, I don't hate it or Inoculus on this map. I do well, I guess this is fine. I was just saying, I do dislike exposing the boom, but that's probably good bait, because if the K9 decides to come in, that K9000 is not lasting very long. Alright, Master Dark, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Get a little spider action into Jar. There are, in fact, a lot of mechs on the board. There are, in fact, a lot of mechs. The Mechapocalypse. I assume that's supposed to be Mechapocalypse. Which sounds like either a metal album or like an 80s horror movie or like a B horror movie. A Tractor, I've heard that Phobies pretty good too. It's probably pretty good with a bunch of 3 Rangers, but what's not great is our hero's down 3-1 panic points. That's less than stellar. That's less than ideal. Little Ray Chargels action. Who could have possibly seen that coming? I'm still trying to figure out why Ray has spots and why do they move. So will there be a Chuck? I don't know. What makes you say, I mean, this map is decent for Chuck. We get Raucous and Boomer and a big Y from me. I don't... Many 3 Rangers? I guess. I mean, as we've learned, the answer to a Tractor seems to be put an enormous dummy on the board with a lot of HP and make your opponent have to pull it with the rest of your team. Crab Brawler is the only 5 Ranger? You mean little Crabula action? Out of Clobster? So, like, I get the sedentary / whatever, stasis to fight the spider, and then this lets you position things. Because, like, there's no fear here for the positioning unless your opponent can somehow clear out, unless they can somehow clear out Raucous, which they're just not going to be able to, right? Now, I was looking at chat, so I missed why the Ray Chargels is here instead of here. I assume it was to dodge a tractor / oopsie baby. But if it was here, like, they could have hypothetically invaded, killed this, and then maybe gotten something. Their ability to get through Raucous and a tractor, which realistically is what would have to happen, is going to be challenging, but maybe not impossible if the Ray could have actually attacked. But from this position, it's just too damn far away. So bad guy has now relinquished their panic point advantage, and hero has added Zappy. It's funny, we had somebody ask earlier, how do I be more aggressive in my games? I will say, don't go with team one movers here as dontinklsnif has. Tinklsnif. Not Tinklesmith. That's a different person. This is actually hilarious in a intensely depressing way. Like, how demoralizing is it just to watch the silent tide that is just, like, eroding your team? Bad guy's also maxed out here with 16 keys unavailable. Please, just sacrifice the Contortio already. Just send it in. Let it die. This is how to be aggressive. This is, I don't think there's any definition of the word aggressive that this fits. All right. Bo Mangles takes one for the team. Goes to sit on the bench. Frees up a slot. I'm pretty sure they could have killed this Zappy if they... Like, they might get it anyway. Yeah, they're gonna get it. I was gonna say, like, they could have yoinked and maybe done a lot of this more safely. Certainly with less effort. But that probably leads to a dead spider. Instead, it's gonna lead to a bunch of other dead things. By bunch of, I mean dead Hevo. Oh, they possibly could get... Yeah, they're going to beat up on this. That makes sense. And then the power down. How's that for a thumbnail? Or I clicked on things. $21 damage. Lol. Speaking of Clopster... Speaking of Clopster. Whoop. Clicked out by accident. Brony! Sign of desperation, at least when I've been using it lately. I mean, I think Brony is actually very good. I hope people don't misunderstand. It's just the last few games where I've utilized Brony, it was absolutely out of desperation. It's funny having a pull, but being unable to have anything to pull. It's a rough life. Our hero is literally boxing bad guy into a corner with phobies that can't be displaced. This is... I mean, yes, I understand where the toxic description comes in, but this is actually kind of funny. This is actually pretty funny. Raucous. Gonna eat it. Raucous will twerk no more. Certainly not in this game. However, the inexorable march of the machines here. Jar squashes the spider. I actually like the Oopsie Baby positioning and the Boomer as well, because this blocks out the Brony from doing anything. It's like, you can Brony right now, but that's not going to get you anywhere. Oopsie Baby and Klepto, the only ones left. Unfortunately, 4-1 panic point advantage. Well, not unfortunately. It's really unfortunate for bad guy. But great for our hero. That's because I'm part of the content affiliate program, Gilbo. I think what our hero needed to do was just literally stand on the panic point. Just don't move. Because Klepto is the only thing that can do anything. So if you just stand on the panic points, it's like you'll just cap everything and blow them up. I mean, you get it back now anyway, and they can claim the top, I guess, and back cap this one, but... I think everybody went to sleep time zones, or I could have put them to sleep. But yeah, we do have a lot of Europeans that hang out, so it is pretty rough for them time zone-wise. Just watching the slow demise of bad guy here. I mean, a Brony that can't activate again when it's the only phobia on the board. It's a sad feeling. It's a sad feeling. I've been there. Well played there, dontinklsnif. Well played. This was actually, like I said, a very funny game. I can absolutely understand how it would be tilting on the other side of the board, because it's just like, how do you actually fight something like this? But you don't see this in quote-unquote normal games, and it didn't seem like too ridiculous of a strategy for the most part. There's a couple of tweaks that could happen if you weren't going for the event, but overall, well played, GG. Hakunay closing it up for us on this evening's viewer game breakdowns. Hoploy once again featuring as bad guy. Hoploy was kicking the crap out of me when I was streaming the last couple nights, so all right, let's root for the heroes here. Not like we don't anyway. But the notes simply from Hakunay are, don't fear levels number 1. Why number 1? Because Hakunay submitted a few games. That's correct, Onda. I was going to do a reminder at the end of the stream, but yes. Now, this is a very unique opener from Hoploy. I don't know if this is Hoploy doing Hoploy things, and by that I mean they have so many levels that... And how many levels are we talking? This is a level 24 Spud versus... It's literally a 10-level difference. 11-level difference. It's a big gap. Big gap. Hakunay is actually around the stress level I am, I believe. So this, I gotta take notes, because I've been paired up against Hoploy a lot. Getting the pick here, which is important. You have to be able to remove stuff when you get the opportunity. But where I was going with is I have to wonder if this Spud Cowbell or Spud Cat opener from Hoploy is due to having the level advantage, or is this a line that people are just not seeing typically? And we'll have to see how this plays out. Now, in this case, Hakunay is being aggressive. They banked last turn, so the Klepto comes out. This means that if the Spud stays, it will die. Now, oh, you answered their 3 key with a 6 key? It's not that. It's there's a tempo advantage here. Because now they had to invest these resources in killing this, but not really advancing the board. Right now, Hoploy's doing some weird stuff, I'm not going to lie. We get a Bluelian in order to heal up the Spud. The Spud cannot die. Combination of Gravedigger and Klepto, because they would both be in range but couldn't get there. Now the question is how... Ooh, we get the lockout. Okay. Now this isn't as exciting because the Bluelian can still get there, but it will be exposed to a degree. I mean, well, the Spud can't really touch anything. Hoploy is not going with any of the standard things that happen on this map. I mean, Spud is okay. Obviously, 1 keys are 1 keys. Jar is fine, but like the sequencing and the Bluelian... Again, I'm curious as to whether this is... And that statue's almost gone already. Is this a line that Hoploy has had success with, or is this... I have so many levels, I'm just going to do weird stuff because I can. And all of a sudden, Hakunay, Panic Point Advantage, Erratic coming down, Terraformer still alive, therefore you can potentially artificially extend the Erratic's range. Now, Klepto is going to get beat up here. 6 keys remaining to 12 for bad guy. And Smiley is the answer. This is reasonable. This is also an almost 3,000 health Smiley. That's going to take a while to pick apart with a single mechanical if Hakunay elects to go that route. The mechanical in this case is Bo Mangles. Now, Bo is going to have time, but even at level 16, it's going to take a while to take down the Smiley. So it's going to be a lot of repositioning from our hero here. Get a free pot shot here on Bluelian. Couple free pot shots. So this is Hakunay saying, I don't care if you disease it. Okay, I was about to say, if you don't reposition the bow, it's not even going to be able to interact with it. But, as expected. Get some Bluelian spot action. And Fire Ant is the final phobie. Honestly, this doesn't look great for our hero. Now, you can burn down the Smiley more quickly if you just allow... Yeah, just hit it with the Klepto. It's already diseased. What does it matter? But this is not going to do it in one cycle. However, this does body block out the Smiley, so that means that it... I mean, it could retreat, but, like, what's the point? Alright, it is going to retreat. Traps start trading out thanks to the Fire Ant. Klepto has a little bit more fight in him. And I imagine it's going to... Yep. So this is interesting. The Klepto will survive this level of disease. What's the stats on the Fire Ant? Do you really want to know? It's a big boy. That's a big boy. Notably, Hakunay chose not to claim the Panic Point with the Klepto. There are a few different reasons for that. Obviously, the main one being it will just immediately die. This forces Hoploy, to come after it if they want to kill it. That's a dead corn. This is looking messy. So this allows Klepto to both claim the panic point and get a multi-hit here. Like a solid, this is a good heads-up play with Terraform available. Bo getting a free shot here as well. Nothing's going to die, but the damage matters because either Hoploy's got to rotate to the spa, or they're going to have permanent damage. Bad Omen, penultimate Phobie from Hakunay. Alright, this is interesting because Blue Lean's just going to sit here and man-fight the Erratic, I guess. Admittedly, it's 747 damage. Like, that's pretty bonkers. This Bo is just getting the snot kicked out of it. Now, we are going to get a good Bad Omen splash here onto both the Jar and the Fire Ant if Hakunay elects to go for it. I don't think this was worth it. Like, I don't know why this happened. Maybe the Blue Lean comes out ahead, I'm not sure. Final Phobie is Contortio. I mean, we're going to get a 1 key. Obviously. The Bow can die. This is still... like, it's not great damage. But the fact that this got hit as well, thanks to the Bad Omen, I know you can't really see anything because of where I paused, but, like, the Bad Omen splash power down was a big deal. This only doing 17 damage, that's a lot of time to buy. Triple panic point advantage, by the way. The Erratic lives, the Gravedigger lives, the Bow lives. Everything survives, and I think these are going to die. Well, the Spud is dead. The Jar might be dead because of Splash. Nope, goes for the Spud. Fair enough. Down goes Spud, and then there's picking the team apart. Notably, the Blue Lean can't one-shot the Contortio. Bad Omen, chat. Bad Omen's pretty good. Bad Omen is pretty good. Erratic does pay for its sins. That is a very unhealthy team from Hoploy here. The block break. Down goes Jar. Cat onto the heart with the triple panic point advantage. A lot of pressure going down. This allows, of course, Bo Mangles to connect. And I think we got a concession there from Bad Guy. 1,700 health on the heart. Not enough to actually kill everything. You're not going to claim it back. That was really well played by Hakunay. It was looking really ugly there. But then this connection up here in the north with the Bad Omen to basically turn the Fire Ant and the Jar off. Huge. Huge. GG. Well played. That was a big deal, chat. That was a lot of fun looking at those games. Definitely a lot of fun looking at those games. But all good things must come to an end. Kind of where we stand. So tomorrow we're going to be doing variety. It's going to be more DC Dual Force because I'm enjoying the game. We'll see how things go. But yeah, that's the end of the viewer games. If you're interested in submitting your own games, of course, you can hit up the JustRandomSt Discord. Stay out by the like and subscribe button in the description of this video. That's where you can find the link for the live stream as well. That's going to do it for this time. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And Black Lives Matter.